This is Not Just Making the Tea, the podcast which discusses the realities of our career and life choices whilst made at school and college. We celebrate the parts that haven't gone to plan as much as those which have. With every chat, we plan to explore what life skills there are to be learnt and how they can influence and help us to succeed. I'm your host, Rachel Price, founder of Amali.com, the career website for young adults. So firstly, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I hope that you enjoy the experience and that you'll continue to join me and my future guests on our journey. I really appreciate anyone who takes the time to listen, so please do like, subscribe, and then send me any comments and feedback. I hope that you'll find these chats thought-provoking, entertaining, and hopefully they'll give you some positive vibes for your day. So on that note, let's get started with today's topic. How to talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere. Achieving success in any formal or non-formal circumstance does not generally happen if you are not skilled and confident in the art of talking. You need to be able to communicate effectively with anyone, at any time, in any place if you want to get ahead. Contrary to popular belief, transforming yourself from someone who is socially reserved into a successful talker is easy when you develop certain strategies and skills. So let's look at the basics of achieving a successful conversation. There are some key steps you need to master before you can successfully engage in a conversation. Number 1, honesty. It is crucial that you are always honest. It is good to share your experiences, but don't embellish them. Be upfront about your thoughts and feelings, but consider how you communicate these and how they will be received. Hiding these things will only lead to more anxiety and frustration about future conversations. However, you must consider the way that you communicate, as this will set the tone for the current conversation and for the future. Number 2, the will to talk. You will also need to develop your willingness to talk, even if it's the last thing that you want to do. You can work towards this by starting conversations in situations where you would normally remain quiet or find awkward, such as in the lift or waiting in a queue. Something as simple as, "Hi, how are you?" or "How's your day going?" can go a long way to making you feel more comfortable about starting spontaneous conversations. And number 3, interest. It is important that your conversation partner feels that you are really taking interest in what they have to say. Active listening is when you are in the present time and not thinking about what has happened or is coming up. When you actively listen to the conversation, you will pick up hints as to how the conversation can develop and continue. You can also show your interest through your body language, leaning forward, engaging in eye contact, and using your vocal tone to show your interest in what they have to say. Next, let's discuss how to talk to strangers. A key part of the networking process is being able to strike up a conversation with strangers. When starting a new class, a new college, or attending an event, you will find yourself in this situation. And this is a perfect opportunity to develop your confidence and skills ready for your future professional life. The first step in doing this is to overcome shyness, both yours and theirs. It is natural to feel a bit shy around new people. After all, we've been taught from a very young age to be wary of strangers. While this fear is appropriate in childhood, it is important to move past this when entering the business world. One easy step to start talking to strangers is to open with a compliment or a question. In a networking setting, you could make the compliment about a piece of clothing or an accessory. Shoes are always a good starting point. And ask where they were purchased. Or you could compliment a fellow academic on their recent assignment or presentation and ask about their methods. Be sure that you avoid yes or no questions, as these can quickly put an end to the conversation. When talking to someone you've only recently met, there are a few topics which you should steer clear of. These include highly political points, very personal questions, and anything which could be considered offensive. Whilst some people invite these types of conversations, others prefer to avoid them. It is best to stick to safe topics until you know your conversation partner a bit better. Finally, we need to understand social talk. Whenever you are talking in a social setting, you should remember a few key rules. Be open and eager to engage in conversations. Find something you and your conversation partner have in common, whether it's a TV show, music taste, books, holiday locations, or the reason why you're both in the same place at the same time. Always listen to what your conversation partner has to say and respond with interest. I realise this is easier said than done, but try not to be nervous about initiating conversations. At any new social event, keep your eye out for someone who looks like they would be interested in having a conversation. Or you could find a conversation which is already underway and join it, assuming that you have something meaningful and positive to contribute. Don't just stand on the outside edge and listen without contributing. That would just seem weird. If you find yourself at a loss for something to say, consider asking why. This is one of the best questions to ask because it can lead to insightful conversation. Lastly, some tips for being the most successful talker. All successful talkers have a few characteristics in common. Mastering these can get you well on your way to a great conversation. The ability to look at the same situation from multiple angles. Having broad horizons and being interested and knowledgeable about a variety of subjects. Being enthusiastic about the conversation topic as well as the conversation partner. Asking engaging and insightful questions. Showing empathy towards people and situations. And finally, having a sense of humour about themselves, the world and others, without being cruel, offensive or malicious. Being able to successfully communicate with others is the key to success in any line of business. By learning the best ways to engage in conversations, along with how to overcome your nerves, you can get ahead in any formal or non-formal circumstance. So all I can leave you with is strike up those spontaneous conversations and practice. So that's our topic for today. I hope you found some points of use and interest. For more information, please go to amali.com and check out the Learning Hub. You'll find more resources for Success Skills 101. Please also go to amali.com and subscribe for updates and activities on topics aimed to help us be more successful. Thank you once again for listening.